Nicky, Oscar Whisky obviously looks in good form and he's all set for Foss-Lass.
Well, it's always, as you know, it's an annual plan. Ever since Dye sort of reinvented the Welsh Champion Hurdle, which actually used to be a very good race at the end of the season. But it's great that it's that he's rekindled it and it's at Foss-Lass, which I think is a wonderful race course.
Do you think he'll definitely go for the stayers, or is the champion still a possibility?
He'd have to do something pretty stunning at Foss-Lass. I mean, it would be my only idea. The only time he'd come to 2 miles would be to go to Foss-Lass.
You say that, but he wasn't far behind Hurricane Fly, was he?
No, he wasn't. I mean, as I say, I'm not going to go. You can't rule it out. Let's just see what happens on Saturday week, and then we can take a look at it. But I mean, the trouble is, you'd have to say, can he win a champion hurdle? Hurricane Flies and that, they've beaten him before, so he's proved that he can't. I think he's possibly improved. But where he does improve is when you stick another half a mile on it. And both times he's had, well, all 3 times he's been 2.5, twice at Cheltenham and at Aintree, he's looked a far, far better horse. And, I mean, he's come up the hill twice at Cheltenham over 2.4, 2.5 with absolutely out a blip on him. I just think going that extra bit helps him. If he doesn't stay, he doesn't stay. The one thing we're not able to do is find out if he stays before the day, because he's actually going to come back to 2 miles as his prep. If you like, it's not his prep. We want to win. His prime objective is the Welsh Champion Hurdle.
Over the last, he flicks over it. Tarkari blunders, and Oscar Whisky is clear. On the run for home, Oscar Whisky is well clear. He'll win the William Hill Welsh Champion Hurdle in the colours of Dye Walters. For Nicky Henderson and Barry Geraghty, he looks a top-class performer. Oscar Whisky from Blackjack Blues to Kari.
The horse is a lot stronger than last year. He performed well. It was a disappointing start of the season, falling in Ascot. But I've spoken to Barry now and things like that, because I wasn't in Cheltenham the last time he won in Cheltenham, and he said he'd give him a lovely feel. Nicky rang me up a week ago. He said entries are closing. Can I enter him in the Champion Hurdle? I said yes, because he said if he broke track records, we'd have egg on our face if we haven't entered him. And it's after the Welsh Champion Hurdle, we can all decide then where he's going. Well, I would say it's 60-40 for the World Hurdle, yeah.
He worked this morning, he's in good form, and he'll be heading back to Sandown. It's not been one of his lucky races so far, but I think it's where I'd like to go because it fits in well, and we've sort of planned out which horses were going where, and that's where we intended to go.
And Bobsworth?
Reynoldsdown, I thought, really probably is the most likely place to go to Ascot. It's usually a nice race. You don't often get a big field. Master Hall won it last year. I think that's where he'll almost certainly go.
Have you thought of a prep race for long run?
Newbury for the new, what was the Aon is now the Denman. You know, he had a nice little freshen up after the King George. So, you know, he's fresh and well, he's bouncing about, and we'll start the schooling again next week, and, you know, have him ready for Newbury, I hope.
And we saw it in the schooling in the ring there, Jack the Giant, who we haven't seen him for a long time. I see he's entered at Cheltenham. Is that a realistic goal?
Oh, it is. The round area is what I'm after. I mean, we have Riverside Theatre be going there as well, but I mean, I'd love to get Jack back because I've always thought the race is made for him.
Mm-hmm. We saw Simonsig earlier looking fit and well. What's the news on him?
Good, working away. He'll have one run before Cheltenham again. It'll just be a decision in which way he goes. I mean, it's extraordinary how much pace he's got. And I mean, for that day in the 2.5 at Sandown when he went and joined Fingal Bay, I mean, you just said he was in a different class to that horse. For speed, he's extraordinary. He has got a lot of natural speed. I wouldn't be frightened to come back to 2 with him.